Pari Prajakacharya Bhattattara Sattvam Shishimati Divine Grace Abhay Charanaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Om Vishnu Pad Paramahamsa Pari Prajakacharya Bhattattara Sattvam Shishimati Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Gaura Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Satchidananda Bhaktivedanta Thakur Ki Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Sri Rupa Sri Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Sri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Das Raghunath Sarka Swami Prabhu Khan Ki Friend Namacharya Haridas Thakur Ki Friend Jagaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhana Ki Rajabhumi Sri Vrindavan Dham Ki Sri Navadvip Mayapur Dham Ki Nilajat Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Yamuna Mai Ganga Mai Ki Bhakti Devi Tulsi Devi Maharani Ki Harinam Sankirtan Ki Priyat Midanga Transcendental Book Distribution Ki Transcendental Prasadam Distribution Ki Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Nitai Gaura Premanande All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the lotus feet of Shri Guru Shri Gauranga, glories to Srila Prabhupada. Master are the only way we can obtain pure devotional service. I bow down to his lotus feet with great awe and reverence. By his grace one can cross the ocean of material suffering and obtain the mercy of Krishna. My only wish is to have my consciousness purified by the words emanating from his lotus mouth. Attachment to his lotus feet is the perfection that fulfills all desires. Even my dark night fills my heart with transcendental knowledge. He is my Lord, birth after birth. From him ecstatic prayer emanates. By him ignorance is destroyed. The way is true trusting of his characters. Our spiritual master is the ocean of mercy, the friend of the poor and Lord and master of devotees. O Master, be merciful unto us. Give us the shade of your lotus feet. May your fame spread all over the three worlds. Be the shelter of the lotus feet. The Bhavana Jagat Guru, Savior of the whole world, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So, where is Rajamani Dasa?
He's giving lecture.
That's what I know.
That's
Well announced, yeah. Oh,
haven't not seen him yet.
Probably haven't.
Can you? Could you jump in, maybe?
Wow. And also sunlight can go through. Sunlight can go through.
Does he know it's earlier? No.
There's also like water spring.
yeah. That's what I mean. Misty.
Misty.
It's very cool.
Misty Dahi.
Yeah. Quite fancy.
Fancy.
Fancy stuff.
Fancy, not offensive.
Yeah, let's go.
Everything else. When did you start this program?
Someone have got
Like this week. This week. But we announced it.
Okay.
But anyway,
Let's see.
She's always
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah, well.
We can try to prepare something.
23.
Otherwise we can do some J-Rock mode from programs. Simon, ci senti?
Restano, non ci vai.
Faccio J-Rock mode from programs.
nice. You like piano?
Ich weiß nicht, welche du links lässt. Ich weiß auch. Deswegen fange ich an. 14? Okay. Ja, von 14. When are you matching already? What day was? Yesterday. Ah, yesterday. Das ging mir auch, ich schätze, der Interviews. Und da war jetzt 3 Monate, das war, konntest du nicht trainieren. Ja. Was sagst du? I just thought we were waiting for 3 months. Ah, yes. That's why you couldn't move it. It's not you. Yeah, nice.
There you go.
The microphone is
Hare Krishna Guru.
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Not sure where all the Prabhus are today, but I'm here.
That's fine. I'm happy to see you. Thank you. So how are you, Prabhu? Okay? How are you?
Yeah.
Take some rest?
Yesterday I went to the spa.
Oh, yeah. This.
Waren wir im Spa, Sauna und so weiter.
Ja, ja. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Did someone change the cup of water?
That one not yet. I think.
Johannes, kannst du diese selber machen?
Ja, die sind ja. So,
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Yeah, we're very happy to see you. We missed you a lot for the 3 months. Yeah, 3 months is so quickly. Just like a second.
this is the illusion of our long lifespan.
That's a big thing.
Probably not right yet.
14. This is yesterday.
So,
Yeah, so
don't worry, then we just
Yeah.
we don't
Nice.
have time.
we can read on the phone actually.
Yes, next time.
Hare Krishna, Vrindavan Prabhu. Hare Krishna, I'm very fortunate to be here with you this morning. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya
Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Rupa Ishtipada Paramahansa Vaidyacharyana Sasriman Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada ki jai. Ananda Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Srila Das Thakur ki jai. Prem Chakra Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyama Kunda Girdhodara ki jai. Vrindavana Dhama ki jai. Navadvipa Dhama ki jai. Dwaraka Dhama ki jai. Ganga Maya ki jai. Yamuna Maya ki jai. Bhakti Devi ki jai. Tulasi Devi ki jai. Samveda Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Gaura Premanande. All glories to somebody who is Hare Krishna. All glories to somebody who is Hare Krishna. All glories to somebody who is Hare Krishna. All glories to Sri Guru and God.
So we are reading today from Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, 2nd part, chapter 23, text number 14. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Sampitya payam parsniva vayam. Sampitya is that? Yeah. Okay, that's Sampitya payam parsnivayam.
Sampitya payam parsnivayam.
Sampitya payam parsnivayam.
Sampitya payam parsnivayam.
Vayum utrayan channai.
Vayum utrayan channai.
Vayum utrayan channai.
Vayum utrayan channai.
Na vayam kastes avastapya. Na vayam kastes avastapya. Ritura kanta sirani.
Ritura kanta sirani.
Ritura kanta sirstani.
Ritura kanta sirani.
Anybody want to try?
Sampitya payam parsipayam.
Sampitya payam parsipayam.
Vayum utrayan chanai.
Vayum utrayan chanai.
Navayam kosteshiv avastapya.
Navayam kastes avastapya.
Vidura kanta sirani.
Vidura kanta sirani.
Sampidya payum parshnipyam.
Sampidya payam parsnipyam.
Vayum utsarayan chanai.
Vayum utrayan chanai.
Navyam koshteshvavastapya.
Navyam kastesvastapya.
Hridura kanta shirshani.
Hridura kanta sirstani.
Sampidya payam parshnipyam.
Sampidya payam parsnipyam.
Vayum utsarayan chanai.
Vayum utrayan chanai.
Nabhyam koshteshvavastapya.
Navyam kastesvastapya.
Tripura kantha shirshani.
Hridura kanta sirstani. So we will go word by word. Sampitya by blocking. Vayum, the door of the anus. Parsni Bayam by the calves. By the calves.
By the calves.
Then Kalves. Calves. 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 And Vayum, the air which goes up.
The air which goes up.
Utrayanam, pushing upwards. Sanai, gradually. Navayam, by the navel, kastesu, in the heart, in the throat, avastapya, fixing earth in the heart, Buram, upwards, Kanta, throat, Sirasani, between the two eyebrows. Translation and purport given by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. When Maharaj Prabhu practiced the particular yogic sitting posture, he blocked the doors of his anus with his ankles and pressed his right and left calves and gradually raised his live hair upwards, passing it on the circle of his navel, up to his heart and throat, and finally pushed it upwards, the central position between his two eyebrows. Purport. The sitting posture described herein is called Muksana. In the yoga process, after following the strict regulatory principles controlling the sleeping, eating, mating, one is allowed to practice the different sitting postures. The ultimate aim of yoga is to enable one to give up his body according to his own free will. One who has attained the ultimate summit of yoga practice can live in the body as long as he likes, or as long as he is not completely perfect. Leave the body to go anywhere within or outside the universe. Some yogis leave their bodies to go to the higher planetary system and enjoy the material facilities therein. However, in intelligent yogi do not wish to waste their time within the material world at all. They do not care for the material facilities in the higher planetary system, but are interested in going directly to the spiritual sky, back home, back to Godhead. From the description in the verse, it appears that Maharaj Prithu had no desire, no promote himself to a higher planetary system. He wanted to return home immediately, back to Godhead. Although Maharaj Prithu stopped all practice of mystic yoga after realizing Krishna consciousness, he took advantage of his previous practice and immediately placed himself on the Brahma Bhuta platform in order to accelerate his return to Godhead. The aim of his particular system of asana, known as a sitting posture for liberation, or Muksana, is to attain success in Kundalini Chakra and gradually raise the life from the Muladhara Chakra to Swadhisthana Chakra, then Manipura Chakra and Ananta Chakra and Vasudeva Chakra, and finally to the Ajna Chakra. When the yogi reaches the Ajna Chakra between the two eyebrows, he is able to penetrate the Brahma Randra, or hole in his skull, and go to any planet he desires, up to the spiritual kingdom of Vaikuntha or Krishna Loka. The conclusion is that one has to come to the Brahma Bhuta state for going back to Godhead. However, those who in the Krishna consciousness or who are practicing Bhakti Yoga, Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, can return to Godhead without even practicing the Muktasana process. The purpose of Muktasana practice is to come to the Brahma Bhuta state. For waiting being on the Brahma Bhuta state, one cannot be promoted to the spiritual kind. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 14:26. Mam cha yapcharani bhakti yogena sevante sa gunam samityana brahma bhutya kalpate. The Bhakti Yogi practicing Bhakti Yoga is always situated on the Brahma Bhuta state, Brahma Bhuyat Kalpate. If a devotee is able to continue on the Brahma Bhuta platform, he enters the spiritual kai automatically after death and return to Godhead. Consequently, a devotee need not feel sorry for not having practiced the Kundalini Chakra or not penetrating the 6 chakras one after another. As far as Maharaj Prithu was concerned, he had already practiced his process. And since he did not want to wait for the time when his death would occur naturally, he took advantage of chakra penetration process and thus gave up the body according to his own free will and immediately entered the spiritual sky. Om Ajnanatimrandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Satchurum Milidam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah. Vanja Kalpadarupchya Kripa Sindhipeva Se Paridanam Pavanepyo Vaishnevipyo Namo Namah. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhaktivranda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. I'm very fortunate today to be with you all and get your association. And please bless me that, what I heard from the senior devotees and also acharyas, that I can get remembrance to speak on. And therefore, please, I seek your blessing, to speak on. And this, the Maharaj Prithu is going back home. Here, Maharaj Prithu taught the yogic process, he was practicing before this practice, and therefore he don't want to wait until the death comes out, as usual normal way of. Therefore he was using his practice, actually this yoga chakra process. Process to, because he came for some purpose, then he finished the purpose, and now he's actually eager to see the Lord, and therefore he was doing this yogic process, this chakra, that he can go wherever he want. Because some yogis go to higher planets, but his intents permanently go to Vaikuntha or Goloka. He could that because he's Satya Avesavadana, and also he's practiced actually this yogic process, and therefore he could do that. And we know this yoga is not unable to practice for people like you and me. It is not for this yoga, and therefore Srila Prabhupada gave us a very simple process. Saravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam. Very simple way to attain the same benefit that Prithu Maharaj got. And therefore we are very lucky that we have this process. Because there are many people, in the Western world there are always, they speak about yoga. But this yoga process, you have to do many lifetime to discipline, control the senses, control the mind, and especially renounce order. Otherwise, you cannot practice this yoga. And I remember one in YouTube. There's a very famous teacher, yoga teacher in India. He has got 9 million subscribers. And he teaches them, only half an hour, and you can meditate on anything. What only thing is we have to be sitting, and this sitting posture actually, and then you can meditate on that. You don't need to force the mind to control yourself, and it comes automatically. And this way, because this is not automatic way, because first of all, you have to control the senses, control the mind, then only you can sit actually there. Otherwise, you cannot sit on that position, And therefore, there are many yoga processes are there, but it is not, it's not, spiritual, but you get some benefit, by doing yoga, because I also remember that there was one devotee, I don't know whether you know him, an old devotee, he's now 80 years old, Karunasagara Narasimhadas. And he was practicing many since his childhood, yogic, and his body is completely fit, he's very handsome, these benefits are there. Material benefits are there. I mean, because breathing. The pranayama process, and this way you can keep the body. Very healthy, and that's true. But it's not spiritually advanced. That's what I'm saying. Because he was also giving class in temple actually, many years ago, and his guru was 85. He's also from South India, and very strong body. They live long because they have. This process brings them. Healthy body and material benefit, but spiritually not much, because they are not control the senses and mind. Therefore, it is not possible for this age. For us, it's very easier process, and therefore, Krishna gave Arjuna. Krishna selected Arjuna to instruct the Bhagavad Gita. He's not a yogi. He's not a renowned sort of person. He's a family person. He has got 4 wives. Anybody knows the wives of Arjuna? Subhadra one, yeah. Draupadi, yeah. Another 2 names there. Chitranga and Udupi. And these 4 wives he had. He's a family man. He has got responsibility. And also he's in a very, when he was, the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita, the first chapter, he was in a very stressed condition, situation, because he was put into the front of the war battle, and the opposite side is actually his grandfather was there, the teacher was there, he wanted to kill all of them. Could you imagine how the situation is? Because sometimes, when we want to give them the Bhagavad Gita to speak about Bhagavad Gita, they always say, oh, no time, I'm in stress, I have to go this. It's the stress actually, we are all together, we will not come to that stress actually, because so in a situation with the Arjuna was put there, and Lord, especially choose Arjuna to give this instruction because he's a normal person, like common person like you and me. And therefore it comes from the disciple succession that it is very easy to follow these instructions. And Prabhupada, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made very easy, for us, Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, as it says, And for us, it's very easy method. We just, chant the holy name, and we take prasadam, very wonderful prasadam we take, and we read scriptures, and we chant we dance in front of the Lord. Is it easier or go to Himalaya and put yourself alone, or go to forest, put yourself alone and meditate? Which is easier?
For some, maybe.
Huh?
Maybe for some it's easier.
No, that's true. Some of them, I know one of our bhaktas actually, he's a nice person, young boy. Now he went to Haridwar, to meditate. I know some people, they are attracted to this meditation process, and they keep themselves alone and then meditate. But it is hard to come on that level actually, spiritual, sometimes they will fall down. Because our mind is not controlled. But this process, the mind is controlled. Our eating method is controlled. Everything. Jai Jagannath Balasubramanian Maharaj ki jai. Jai Gaudita ki jai. Jai Chilakapala ki jai. Everything is controlled. It's regulated. Because now you see. When you living in temple or ashram, you wake up in the morning 4 o'clock. It comes automatically because you are in a community that you will be automatically brushed to come on that time, and you regulated your meal also. Everything will regulate it. In this way, it is the greatest yoga that we practicing. It is easiest way, without any anxiety that we can simply process that. And it way, because now the people are looking for something. European people and also Western people. Even India also now it is very famous. They say yoga studios everywhere, they want to invite, because they do some yoga like gymnastics, like now there are many names are there, even pregnant yoga. Many yoga names are came, because newly created names, because they want to, make money, and somehow, But the real yoga is actually control the senses and the mind. That's what Prithu Maharaj, because Prithu Maharaj is not like, like half an hour going to the yoga, practicing in the evening, half an hour, I'm doing yoga. No, Prithu Maharaj is 100% practicing yoga. Therefore, he could able to do that. It's not the business of, that three times a week that I go to the yoga class and I'm yogi. No, this is something cheating actually. And the real yoga process, 100%, you just give up everything, you go to a secular place, then you practice it. But it's also guided by someone. Even Prithu Maharaj was guided by the Kumaras. It's not that, that whimsically you do something, And that's the way, but ourselves, we are easy method that Prabhupada was giving us. And also, in the last sentence is mentioned actually about the you are not practicing. Brahma Bhuyata Kalpate, this Brahma Bhuta stage, you have to come to that stage. In Bhagavad Gita, 1854, one who's Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma Nachanchati na Kachanchati Sama Sarvesu Bhutesu Mat Bhakta Lavate Param. One who has thus transcendently situated once realized the Supreme Brahman and become fully joyful. He never laments or desires to have anything. That's the situation. Are we in this situation? And myself, I'm not actually. Because sometimes I lament actually, oh, I don't have that thing. And sometimes I will in this condition, because it is always, because we go fast and future, not in the present. Once, Giriraj Maharaj was, I was hearing a class from Giriraj Maharaj. He was telling that, one world richest man was interviewed by a paper reporter. And he was asking the richest man, his name was Paul, something like that. I don't remember the exact name at that time. And he was asking the reporter, can you tell me, because you are the richest person, you can have everything in this world, but do you want more than that? He said, I want more. I want more. This is the situation. Because he has everything, but still the satisfaction is not there. Oh, he lament, but he lose, because there is always like lamenting and this way we will, we are not in that position actually, because still, we lament, but we lose and we anchor. But we don't have, And when you come to that level only, actually, you can practice, that is the level, Brahma Bhuta stage. And the other thing is actually you will be, he is equally disposed towards every living entity. In that state, attend to a devotional service unto me. Are we in that stage? Rohit? I will tell you my statement, because still actually, when you go to the family, we will think about only our family. When other family comes, we are not, same as others, Still, we are in that position. We have to raise ourselves. That is the level. That is the stand. That you are able to enter to the spiritual planet. That's what I'm saying. He never laments and desires not to have anything. He is equally disposed towards every living entity. In that state, he attained pure devotional service unto me. Because sometimes, the disciples of Prabhupada, comes and tells Prabhupada, there are some yoga class going on. The Prabhupada smashed always, because he's very hard on this subject actually. He said, they are just pretending, that they are in yoga. It's like a show business, but nothing actually, real yoga is not here. And this real yoga is Bhakti yoga. It's the easiest process and natural process. And even a family man like me, can. But we have to sincerely follow that, and that is important. And then also from Prithu Maharaj, complete story that we can see that Prithu Maharaj got the darshan of Vishnu, and he got the blessing of Kumaras, but he never stopped practicing the Krishna conscious or God conscious. He's always, seriously, even a second he doesn't leave for Maya to come enter. That is important, because when you give a gap, the Maya will enter immediately. You all are lucky actually in the temple living. You're completely absorbed in Krishna consciousness, and therefore there's no chance of entering Maya. But the person who living outside, outside like me. But
the window is open, Maya can come.
No, what I'm saying is, because it is a fact actually, because when you completely because it is like Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says some analogy that you have to give a Maya task always. That means you have to give a task Maya that do something, because otherwise the Maya enter immediately. It's like he gave Maya to go up and down like a ladder, always go down, come down. Then is concentrate on that. The same way, then our mind has to be concentrate on in Krishna consciousness. Then only our mind will be completely absorbed. As soon as you leave a few seconds, immediately enter something else, because our mind will be thinking something else. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Because as soon as you get a little free, I'm now free. I'm just nap. Thinking of something. For ourselves, then the Maya is entering immediately. And therefore, when Prithu Maharaj was completely absorbed, he doesn't. He didn't give any second to enter. Maya, because he is severe. Because of that, he should be able to practice this Chakra Yoga. He could live wherever he want. You see how, for ourselves actually it is easy when we severely, Vrindavan Chandra is completely engaged in the service all the time.
No.
And this way, unfortunate, I'm always, I see Vrindavan Chandra, I'm saying, wonderful, because he took pension, then he came immediately to the temple, and at least 5 days he will be in the temple, only 2 days home. In this way, he is detaching from the family life. And that's what Varnasana Asana says, after 50, you have to leave from the house. At least in 55 or 60, but we are staying till grandson will be here. No, that's what because I see the devotees also sometimes, attached to these families, because they, after 60, then they said, okay, my daughter is there, my grandson is there, I have to look after them, I have to guide them. Then it goes, go after. There's no end, And therefore, it is always better that we should have a plan that, after a certain age, our responsibility, because we are also responsible. And that will be finished, because the responsibility will always come up, because sometimes we see, I have got daughter, I have got son, I have got this and that, and but certain stage you have to say that we have to decide ourselves. Otherwise, you will be entangled in the, because this is our desire, our conscience. The Lord will provide you with what you think, but your desires are there, Therefore, our desire to serve the Lord, then of course the Lord will arrange according to that. then you are able to go. Because otherwise, you will be completely entangled. Because as long as you are there, then all problems comes. As I said, the mind is there when you're outside, working and look after all these things, and it is a difficult process. And therefore, I'm telling that Vrindavan Chandra is very fortunate person that he is engaging himself most of the time here and doing seva, and he's not complaining anything. That's the best thing. And no, that is important actually, because then sometimes we will when we are in a community, because we make mistakes. We are all learning. And but we should think that because it is not that we think everybody in the same stage. Because I made a lot of mistakes before. Because sometimes we think in ourselves that it's also should be same stage. No, it is not that way. We are all practicing devotees. Even now, when we started the class, to chant properly after a long time. Because our chanting is still not properly, not attentively. We are just chanting in like a parrot, and your mind is going somewhere else, isn't it? And therefore we started now class, because of that the whole problem is actually, the whole chaotic condition is that because we have been here for long here, but still we are not learned to chant properly. Prabhupada was giving a class in one sloka, 213, I think. 213. Deidosaminyata de Kovaram Yavaram Jara Tata de Andrapate Tira Daksa Namukyadi. And this class was giving, about 20 times. It's happening again and again in Bhakti Manu. And the one person was asking, Prabhupada, why you are giving the same class again and again? Actually, we have to. That's the time that I thought actually I should get as much as possible. Think hearing this. Otherwise, it doesn't go to our mind. And that's the main problem, because we everything is actually on our attentive chanting. Then it comes everything, it blows everything nicely. And when we make mistakes there, then the whole problem will be same. We come with the rest, tilak and everything, but the problem is still there. Our mind is there. With the corrupted mind is there, then it will not solve anything. Much better. Some advancement will be there, but not fully. Therefore, the whole problem. When we come together strongly, we can change many things, isn't it? That's what one class. Sankirtan Adhikari was telling, actually, his great Sankirtan Adhikari was saying that pure devotee can change everything. Like Prabhupada came age of 70. He was meeting people there. It's not like a bodily concept. He was meeting people in the heart, in Atma level. Therefore, it is easy for him to everything bringing up to a spiritual level. So I will stop here. Any questions or comments if you have? Please share your thoughts. So then I will stop here. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for listening. Mataji, thank you so much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, devotees ki jai.
Rajamani Dasa ki jai.
Thanks for that.
Anyways, no time for questions.
What?
Just now we have to stop if there are questions, because it's a new schedule,
I don't know actually.
Yeah, because even question and answer should be finished at half.
I tell you this. Then it's right actually. Okay, okay. I was thinking actually to ask you, but unfortunately I also forgot it, because today I came, I thought to ask you, because I know that the morning program is changed now.
Yes.
And
The lecture should be finished by 8:30, which is fine. That's what we did today.
Okay.
You were everything perfect.
I'm thinking actually I'm finished half an hour before.
No.
Because normally it's till 9 o'clock, no?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, well, to mention, it's not so important, but there's still a few people who just
Yeah.
leave the body like that because they want, even nowadays.
Yeah.
There's a famous example in Sri Lanka about Sadhguru, this guru, like,
Yeah.
like Copeland, he's standing in the middle of his life, was like, she knew about that, she really wanted to taste for it, and then didn't take so long, and she was like,
I think that
maybe
was
she was not super young, she was very like, impulsive, but she was intense enough because that design for that. She was able to.
Because I wanted some
I'm
help
not
today
sure where he is now. Where she is now in the
to
spiritual
bring
world,
to
where
us
she is.
every evening.
But because
Because I cannot
you have to come to this stage actually.
No,
come
just
to
3
the
of them
stage.
for the
Yeah.
temple
That when
program.
you're lamenting
Yeah.
equally see the people.
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
So,
Otherwise,
Lucas
there's no
suggested
chance
that
of
we
going
will
to. Because that's what
every
Krishna says, right?
evening at 6 o'clock.
I know
He just
that
has to
stage,
be clean
when
and
you
very
are
well.
having. But when you realize
So I
that
can
I'm
explain
not
it to
this
you
body, I'm
and then
soul,
you can explain
and you
it.
will act on that
I
form,
can show you now.
then it's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible. It's not that's not possible. It is possible, but you have to severely
Yeah.
engage in then of course because you see that's because of that the whole problem actually. You see we have United Nations. They are all coming together, but they are coming to the bodily concept.
Yeah.
You see, I'm Russian, I'm American, I'm this, and therefore the whole problem is actually the Prabhupada was saying actually, because when you go on that concept, because then they think this is my land, this is my land.
Right.
Therefore, there is no solution, because when you think that is all God's land, He provides us to live here together, harmony, then it's no problem.
Yeah.
You see, we live together actually. You are Swiss or German, and I'm from East here. Then we live together with the on the roof, same roof. It's no problem for us, because we are our platform is actually God conscious.
Yeah.
It is easy. Otherwise, it is difficult. Therefore, the whole problem actually, because we think that this is enough.
Yeah.
Okay, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for the lecture.
Thank you very much for giving this opportunity actually. I was because I'm really, really, really,